So it's pretty cold today. It's only supposed to be a high of 10. Come on. It's only supposed to be a high of 10. It's going to be real cold for the next couple days. And I've been getting some questions on how well this wood stove heats my barn. So I'm going to go over how big my barn is and how it's insulated. And then, I don't know, we'll get it up to 60 degrees in here or something and see how long it holds the heat with it being 10 degrees. I think for the next couple days, that's the high. I think it's even supposed to get colder than that. So let me get the fire started. I had a fire going yesterday. It probably went out about 6 p.m. It's not warm at all anymore. So I think it's like 50 degrees in here now. I'm gonna check. But I'm gonna get a fire going and then I'll talk about how my barn is insulated. So I'm gonna let that get going before I put some more wood on it. But I built this whole wood stove out of 3/8 thick normal mild steel plate. The dimensions, it's about 28 inches wide, 28 inches deep, and 28 inches tall from the top here. It's got a 6-inch flue. Kinda wish I would have done an 8-inch, but I could talk about that later. I think an 8-inch would draft a little nicer. But I tried to make it as efficient as possible. It's got fire brick in there. I have a secondary air burn tubes in there. And I have an air wash system to keep the glass clean. So I could talk about that a little bit later too. But I made it as efficient as possible. I have a blower on there. So it blows heat through that heat exchanger up front here. But anyways, this barn is 40 feet long by 24 foot wide with 10-foot tall ceilings. And then this little lean-to addition is, the inside part is 24 inches long by, I think, 11 foot deep. And then it's 10 foot up here and then it slopes down to like 8 foot. So I think that's like 1,200 square feet altogether. And in the ceiling, I have 10-foot ceilings. That's pretty important with your heat loss. 10-foot ceilings, and I have some blown-in insulation up there. I want to do more. I think I don't have very much up there. It's just above the 2x4 trusses. So I think that's like an R. I'd have to look at the insulation I use. I think it's only like an R15. It's not much more than that. I'd like to put more up there. And then in this lean-to addition part, I used some insulation foam board, and there's an R30 up there. I think I have 4 inches thick of foam board, so that's insulated pretty well. And then in all the walls, there is, like a normal barn's built, you have the 2x4 girders, and then in between the 2x4s, because the 2x4 is 1.5 inches thick, I used 1.5 inches foam board. So all the walls and the garage door is insulated also, but all the walls have an 1.5 inches foam board on them. And I think that foam board's like a 7.5 R value or something. So it's insulated okay for a barn, but like I said, I think it could be a lot better if I do more on the ceiling. So keep all that insulation value in mind when I do this test. I'm gonna fill the stove. I think we'll see, let me see what temperature it is now. So it's 10 degrees outside and it's 50 in here. So it wouldn't take too long to get to 60 degrees. So maybe we'll do 70. So I'll fill the stove, I'll get it up to 70 degrees in here, and then maybe I'll fill it one more time at 70, and then shut it down and see how long it holds the heat at 70, and then, I don't know, just do some time checks or whatever. But also keep in mind, I mean, this is a barn, so I have some pretty major air leaks. It's not airtight at all. The biggest air leak is the doggy door here for these guys. That just lets a pile of cold air in. Especially today, it's very windy, so it's real breezy and windy out, so that lets more air leakage in. I know that door doesn't even have any seal around it. The garage door could use more weather stripping, so there's definitely air leaks. But with that being said, I've never done a test like this, but I think you guys will be surprised on how well this barn holds the heat. So I'm going to fill this stove with wood, and then I'll give you guys a time check. Here's my blower timer. Oh, there it goes. So it's spreading all that hot air. Hot air is going right into those pipes, and that's helped spread it out around. So it is 9:28 in the morning right now, and it is 10 degrees outside and 50 degrees in here. I'll let you guys know when it gets to 70 in here. And this is all Fahrenheit. I'll try to put, that's freedom units. I'll try to put the Celsius conversions on the screen for you guys. All right, so I didn't add any more wood other than those first, I started it with that kindling, and then I added, I think, 5 or 6 pieces of wood, and that's it right there. It's kind of burning down. And I kind of forgot, I was working on my log splitter. I kind of got a little carried away. It's past 70 degrees Fahrenheit. We're at 72, and it's 11 degrees outside. And it's 11:10 in the morning. Also, don't mind the time on this thing. That's why I've been using that other one. That time's wrong. Just every time the battery dies, I get sick of resetting it, I guess. So it's not supposed to get any higher than 10 or 11 degrees Fahrenheit today. So I'll probably let that fire die down a little bit more, and then when it hits 70 degrees in here, I'm gonna fill it again for the sake of this video. It's kind of warm in here for me to be working. I don't usually get past 60, 65. That's good working weather in here. But I'm gonna fill this again when it gets to 70 and then shut it down. I did close the dampers. I'm gonna fill it, close the dampers, and then keep an eye on it and let you guys know how long it takes for it to get back below 70 degrees in here with it being so cold outside. Okay, it's 11:40, 68 in here now, still 11 outside. It would probably have been easier if I just changed the time on there for this video, but maybe next time. I got it filled up again, and it's going pretty good. It's actually not even, I didn't really completely fill it because I'm working in here and I didn't want it super hot. So I could have added more wood if I wanted to, but I'm gonna shut it down, turn on the blower. I'm gonna shut it down all the way. You'll see it slow down. You can see the secondary burn going on up there. All right, I'll let you guys know when it gets below 70 again. All right, it's pretty burned down. I had to re-click the 4-hour timer because it went longer than 4 hours, but that was from the same amount of wood that I put in there. It's still radiating quite a bit of heat just because of the mass of the stove. the surface is about 200 degrees. So it's about 5 p.m. now. So that's almost 6 hours later. It's 7 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's at 70 in here right now, but it's dropping. It was staying around. I was working in here the whole time. The stove was keeping it around 75 in here. It wouldn't get much hotter than that, probably just because it's so cold outside. But I was surprised it kind of lasted that long. I never really did a test like that. But this thing puts out a lot of BTUs for my not so amazingly insulated barn. Just from the mass of it, like I said, it just radiates so much. And I tried to make it as efficient as possible. So like the secondary burn tubes I have up there, like when you close down the main dampers here, you close those down when it's going real well. It forces the stove to suck in air from the back through those tubes, and it fires all extra gases off and helps it burn more efficiently. And with the fire brick and everything, it does pretty good. I'm happy with it. But I'm not gonna put any more wood in here, and I'm gonna see how long this barn holds the heat until it gets to like 60 degrees with it being cold out. So it's like an hour and a half later. It's down to 5 degrees outside, and it's still 63 in here. But I think you guys get the idea. I mean, I had the garage door open. I had to get the wife's car in here, so I'm sure that changed that affected the temperature quite a bit. But I'm sure you guys get it. It heats very well for my situation. The barn can be insulated more, but it's pretty good for right now. Especially after I get everything up to temperature in here, like that big fab table I have and everything I have in here. Once that's up to temperature, it really helps keep the heat in here. So I'm gonna fill this again for the night. It's probably 7 o'clock at night. But even if I weren't gonna fill this again, with it being 5 degrees outside, I bet you it would still be, I bet you it'd be around 50 degrees in the morning. So let me know if you guys have any more questions on this. I have some older videos kind of explaining how I built it some more, but let me know what else you guys are curious about.